Ederson to Manchester United is a complete deal. Um, what a signing! What a player! Looking forward to see what he can deliver. Um, though many fans of Manchester United are skeptical about his signing, and they do not think he is that marquee signing for Manchester United, or he is the player to replace the caliber of Casemiro. And well, let's see what he turns out into. And for sure, I know Manchester United will do a lot of deals that will bring forth the club back to the glory days. I believe they are on the right trajectory to success, and the plan of the club to succeed needs a lot of capable hands. They need a squad depth to be able to achieve that. And one area Manchester United is lacking personnel is majorly the midfield, especially the defensive and the central part of it. I mean, with Kobe Mino and Bruno Fernandes in the midfield, they need at least a defensive cover and a defensive minded player who can do the disruptions and the who is a natural destroyer and who can be a deep line playmaker. And Ederson might not be that guy on paper, but then I believe Michael Carrick knows the caliber of player he wants. Being a midfielder in his playing days, he should know that the midfield area is a department he doesn't joke with. And the links to Sandro Tonali uh, might materialize probably after the signing of Ederson, because I know for sure Manchester United are not just signing one midfielder for the next season. I know it might be two midfielders, and then if the opportunity arises, they might go for another. But then I'm sure they are signing two midfielders. One has arrived in person of Ederson, and they are looking forward to the Casemiro replacement, because that is what everybody is looking forward to. And Elliot Anderson has been mentioned, but I believe Elliot Anderson is negotiating with Manchester City, and Man United are not ready for any bidding war with any club. Man United are looking forward to players who will play for them for the badge, and players who will choose them. Then they can go further to make deals with the clubs of such players. Just like in the deal of Cunha, Mbemo, and their likes. I mean, Sane Lamens and Shesko, even though Shesko wasn't the club's first choice, but going by the signing of Cunha and Mbemo, these players chose Manchester United. Irrespective of the situation Manchester United found themselves, they finished 15 last season, and there was no European football, no UEFA Champions League, no Europa League, no European Conference League to play for. But these players chose Manchester United, and the Manchester United board are doing a great job in terms of maintaining the wages of these players below £200,000 a week. And that is why they are trying every possible means to do away with players that are overpaid. Players like Jadon Sancho, who were on 250 to 300,000 pounds a week. Players like Marcus Rashford, who was on 300,000 pounds a week. Casemiro is going already, who was also on 300 and above. Um, The likes of Luke Shaw, who was on 200 or 200 to 250, even though I'm not sure Messi Mount is leaving, but then those are the only few players I can remember that have their wages above £200,000. Every other new signing is coming in below the wage structure of £200,000 a week. So I think you have to prove a point. You have to show yourself. You have to show that you are worth every penny that you are being paid for. And I like the structure. Being a Manchester United, I'm very excited for this new development. And I'm looking forward to areas that can be strengthened in the squad. Where areas like the left back, which is non-negotiable. Man United need to sign a left back. And I've been hearing of the rumors of Lewis Hall, the Newcastle United left back. He's young, 21, very agile. He's attacking minded and as well has some defensive abilities that is impressive. And he's somebody who is not coming from the outside. He knows the league very well. He knows the intensity that is involved in the Premier League. And sometimes I feel the adapting to the league, the factor which so many people put in place of England's intensity and all of that, players coming from the outside tend to struggle and all of that. I think sometimes it is over exaggerated because there are certain players that will come from lower leagues and then do exceptionally well. It depends on the player's development, the player's mindset, the player's ability, and all of that. So Lewis Hall coming in as a left back option is a very good one. I'm looking forward to that. And then Man United has just one left winger in the person of Cunha, and they need more personnel in that left side of the attack because they will be playing in the Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. So four competitions. You need at least two capable hands in each position. On the right side of the attack, Mbemo and Amad Diallo are very good options, and I think they can go into the season with those options. But Cunha needs someone to compete with, and I've been hearing names like Diomandi from RB Leipzig. Um, Others have been suggesting Njai from Everton and all of that. These are very good names on the list, and if Man United can get one of these players, then I believe they will be ready to compete next season. And up front, the central striking position, Shesko really needs someone he can learn from. He needs an experienced striker that he can look up to. Though the striker might not be coming in to displace Shesko, but then we need such personnel in the dressing room. That is why I was so sad with Casemiro leaving, because we need experienced hands, not just on the pitch, but in the dressing room that can be able to influence these players positively, proven winners. Like I was hearing the rumors about Lewandowski and all of that. If you can bring Lewandowski on a 1 year or 2 year deal for a player like Shesko to learn from, it wouldn't be a bad deal. And then even within the league, we have our own homeboy who is an academic graduate of Manchester United in person of Danny Welbeck. The previous season, he did exceptionally well, scoring, I think, 13 to 15 goals for Brighton. And he can be a very good, experienced option on the or in the central striking position to help Manchester United. And I think if Man United can get 5 to 6 good players to add to the squad they have, I think they can push for the Premier League title and then compete in other competitions favorably. So arguably for the left back position, Lewis Hall has been mentioned. I know there are other options they can go for, but Lewis Hall is a good option. For the defensive midfield and the central midfield position, Ederson has been secured. There are talks about Sandro Tonali. There are talks about um, Elliot Anderson, which I doubt is ever coming to Manchester United. There are talks about Matheus Fernandes, and he's a very good option. He's young as well, 21. He understands the league, and considering the fact that West Ham are relegated, I think he will be tempted to leave, and West Ham will also be needing to raise money. And then his price tag was around 70 to 80 million pounds, but I believe Manchester United can work something out around 50 or 60 million pounds to get him, adding to Ederson. Yeah, it's a very good one. On the left side of the attack, Diomande can be a good option. Njaye can be a good option. And then probably for the central striking position to compete with Sheshko, I think Welbeck is a good option, a good experienced option. Maybe Lewandowski can also be a good experienced option to at least help nurture Sheshko. And for someone Sheshko can look up to, if Harry Kane was, uh, I mean, was possible, I would have gone for him, but I don't think Manchester United can be able to convince Harry Kane or convince Bayern Munich to sell their star man. I mean, well, never can say never, but I believe for now it's a good one. And I like the way Manchester United are going about their deals, doing deals early enough, because the World Cup can change the transfer window. Because players who will do well in the World Cup, their values might go up, and then negotiations become difficult. And then you have so many clubs hovering around players, and then Manchester United are trying to avoid a bidding war, so they are trying to get their deals, I mean their primary targets, early enough. And I believe with that, Manchester United can go into the season with at least 5 to 6 signings, and then compete favorably in all four competitions. And let's see what goes out. Stay tuned.